Thailand and Cambodia exchanged heavy artillery fire for a second day. The worst fighting in over a decade, which has now intensified and spread to new areas. This despite international calls for a ceasefire. At least 16 people have been killed and tens of thousands have been displaced in the escalating border conflict between Thailand and Cambodia. Simmering border tensions between Thailand and Cambodia has now fled into open hostilities at multiple locations along the front line. These, on your screens right now, are the images of Thai army firing several rounds of artillery from Suren province, which borders Cambodia. Buildings in Suren have suffered damage from artillery shelling from Cambodia as well. Thailand's army says it used drones dropping bombs to bomb Cambodian military arms depot near the two countries' border. Cambodian army fired rockets into Thailand as tensions flared up between the two countries. The border conflict has led to mass evacuation on both the sides. Thailand says 138,000 civilians have been evacuated from its border with Cambodia amid the deadly strikes.
I was shocked and afraid. I was panicking in the back of the car. I was shocked, so hard to describe. It's hard to explain how I felt during the evacuation. When there was a loud noise, I was worried where it would land. And will it hit me?
People are forced to take shelter in temples, gymnasium along the border areas in Cambodia as deadly strikes kept civilians on the edge. Cambodian government has provided no details on casualties or evacuations so far.
I was so scared, shaking so much. I didn't bring anything with me, and then my son tried to pull my child's hand up onto the tractor. May I ask Thailand and Cambodia to negotiate a settlement as soon as possible so that I can return to my home and work on the farm?
Both the sides have been blaming each other for starting the conflict. Now, Cambodia alleges Thailand used cluster munitions, a controversial and widely condemned ordinance. Thailand, on the other hand, accuses Cambodia of deliberately targeting civilians. Thailand's acting Prime Minister warns Cambodia clashes could very much develop into a war.
At this time, the country needs national unity. The events that have occurred involve invasion, encroachment, and harm to the lives of our people. As I've said, the situation has intensified and could escalate into a state of war. For now, it's just clashes using heavy weaponry. We are diligently defending our territory to prevent further incursions and fiercely upholding our national sovereignty. The Army leadership understands this shared intent, and we have conveyed this understanding to all branches of the armed forces.
In fact, Thailand has rejected mediation efforts from third countries to end the ongoing conflict with Cambodia. It has insisted that Phnom Penh cease attacks and resolve the situation only through bilateral talks.
Well, we stand by our position that bilateral mechanism is the best way out. This is a confrontation and between the two countries. Our doors are still open, but first of all, before anything, the cessation of violence, the Cambodian side must stop.
All right, joining us live on the broadcast is Phil Robertson, Director at Asia Human Rights and Labour Advocates. Welcome to WION, Mr. Robertson. First, of course, it's day two of rising skirmishes and attacks between Thailand and Cambodia. It's the worst cross-border fighting that we are seeing today. The Thailand acting Prime Minister has warned that this cross-border clashes could very much develop into a war. Your assessment of where the situation is headed to?
At this point, neither side has any political interest in stopping the fighting. Both of them are still very angry. Neither side wants to be seen as the one who backs down or asks for mediation first. So there's escalation, both military and political, on both sides still taking place. And it may take some time for this situation to resolve itself, because it's quite clear that the trust is very broken between the two sides. Not only are the armies fighting and there's been soldiers lost on both sides, but also the trust between the two governments and the political leadership has been fractured because of the revelations that were made by former Prime Minister Hun Sen when he released on July 1st the recording of his conversation with then Thai Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra about the Thai-Cambodia border. And that phone call has landed the Prime Minister in Thailand into such political trouble that she has now been suspended by the Constitutional Court.
Right.
And she's awaiting a verdict on her fate. So that kind of break of trust between the two sides means that both sides are still determined to fight. And today we had former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra saying on social media that he didn't really want to proceed with mediation at this point, despite various governments and others asking him to do that, because he wants the Thai army to teach Hun Sen a lesson. So, with words like that going back and forth, I don't think that we're going to see an early cessation of hostilities. I think that this is going to be something they're going to continue fighting for at least weeks and maybe longer.
Right, Mr. Robertson, you've clearly even lamented the internal issues in Thailand because of this war that has erupted between both the countries. Now, Thailand, as of now, has rejected mediation efforts from third countries. My question to you is that, do you think Bangkok right now is seeking a bilateral solution?
Well, I think that they are willing to talk, but at this point, it doesn't look like either side is prepared to talk. What's quite clear is that the head of ASEAN, at this time, Malaysia Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, called both leaders in Cambodia and in Thailand yesterday, urging that they cease the violence, urging that there be mediation, obviously offering ASEAN to help. And so far, I think that the response has been cool on both sides. So I don't see any external mediation having an immediate impact. I think that there's going to be a period of time where these two sides are going to continue to shell each other, continue to attack each other. And maybe after a period of time, they'll get a little bit tired and the suffering of civilians will start to affect their political calculations. And we'll see some cooler heads come to the fore. But right now, it's still very clear that they're fighting it out and they're prepared to fight out, and there's not a lot of political will to do anything else except fight.
Right, Mr. Robertson, you've clearly said that both the sides are not agreeing to back down right now, and there's no political will to step down. But my question to you is that who gains from this conflict that we are seeing between both the countries?
Well, there's really no winners here, to be honest. I think that both sides will lose a lot. Certainly it is the civilians on both sides of the border who are facing the brunt of these attacks. They're not only losing their lives, but they're losing their livelihoods. They've had at least 140,000 civilians evacuated in Thailand. On the Cambodia side, I expect we have a similar evacuation, although the Cambodian government is not being forthcoming with any real information about what's happening on their side of the border. But I think that we could expect that there's significant civilian casualties and that there's also, a major displacement like we've seen. So it's the civilians that are going to be losing out here. And the question is, how long will they bear that pain before they start demanding their governments step up and try to find peace? it's not
Right.
clear at all. The nationalism is very strong on both sides. And so, as I said, neither side wants to be seen as backing down. They both want to look tough. And they're, again, pointing fingers at each other. They're not even agreeing who shot first.
Absolutely right, Mr. Robertson. Thank you so much for joining us here on WION and sharing insights with us.
Thank you.